Hello, and welcome to another episode of Star Mountain Outdoors and Bushcraft. I'm John, I'll be your host, and today's episode we're doing an overnighter winter camping trip, bushcraft style, and I'm gonna do the Show Me Your Steak Challenge, so come join me. Alright folks, it's about noon. And I've lugged my pulk up the hill for about a half mile till I reached a nice flat spot on top of the hill. And I found an old camp here underneath the snow with some firewood stacked. There's a fire ring right here. And this, I don't know if you can see it, is a grill that somebody left. Pretty nice one actually. I brought my own, but that one's a little better. And there's a sitting rock, some more wood. It looks like there is plenty of fuel out in the surrounding forest. I've noted some dead trees already, like I don't know if you can see that one right there. It's a small one, but there's a couple leaners back there too that are dead. And I think this is going to be a good camp for the night. It looks like I can run a ridge line between these two trees, but I was hoping to camp near the fire where I could get some heat from the fire. So I'll think about my tent setup after a while. Maybe I'll get the fire going first and have some lunch, and then finish setting up camp. So anyway, here I go. Alright folks, I'd just like you to see my camp so far. This is firewood that I found underneath the snow. It's going to be pretty wet and difficult to burn until the fire really gets going. So I just cut this piece of wood to hopefully get it going. And I've set up my almost kind of like a half lavoo type of shelter, or almost like a plow point shelter. I sealed the sides with snow to keep the wind out as much as possible. The fire's going to go here. I can't really move the rocks to where I want them because they're frozen to the ground. I'm probably going to have to get a good hot fire going before I'm able to move some of the rocks, so that I can kind of put the big ones in the back as a reflector and the small ones in front. But I'm hoping to get the fire going soon and do that. I brought a chair. Since I brought a pulk to pack everything in on, I might as well bring a nice chair, comfy chair to sit in. And you can see my snow pants there. Surprisingly enough, the temperature is dropping. On the south side of the mountain where I was climbing up, it was 35 degrees. Here, let's take a look at the thermometer. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm showing about 15 degrees, 13, somewhere between 10 and 15 degrees. So we might have a below zero night tonight. It's kind of scary. I don't know if I'm set up for that. I've got a 0-degree sleeping bag. I've got a wool blanket and a nice hot fire in front. Hopefully that'll be enough. So let's see how it goes. Alright folks, I bucked and split up that tree. So now I'm gonna make some shavings in order to start the fire with, using the new knife that I put together on my last video. Let's test it out and see how it works. Not bad so far. I'm gonna need more than this though in this weather because it's cold today. Try a little bit of batoning too. This wood is not great for that, but it'd be nice to get a few smaller pieces to start the fire with. Batoning like a champ. Look at these pieces. These are going to be nice to start the fire with. Let's see. Let's do one more. Oh, this one's naughty. Very, very naughty. Oh, there's a knot right there. Let's try from the other side. There we go. Alright, I've got a cotton ball with Vaseline and my shavings and little chunks of wood, pencil-sized pieces. Let's get it going. Oh, this knife throws a good spark. Still going. I don't maybe have the shavings quite in the right place. Let's move them right over that. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Up some of these smaller pieces. And slightly larger ones. Teepee style. set it up. Fire starting in winter conditions. It's gonna take a while. Cold weather and wet wood. Oh, it's just barely going. But it'll go. I have faith in it. See, the other pieces are just warming up right now. But they're split so they'll catch easier. And that was a dry standing piece of wood. It just snowed last night. And it snowed about a foot, I don't know, about a week ago. So fragile, but it's going. I can always get another cotton ball in there just in case. But I think it'll go. I don't think it's done yet. Alright, now that's what I like to see. As you can see now, I've added a reflective blanket on top of my shelter to reflect the heat from the fire back in. So hopefully I'll be able to move these rocks later if they unfreeze from the ground, and build the fire maybe a little closer and have it reflect down and heat up my little shelter tonight. We'll see how that works. Alright folks, as you can see, I just poured myself a nice cup of hot cocoa. Just a little non-caffeinated drink to warm me up a little bit. You can also probably see that I'm cooking up a couple of hot dogs on the fire here. This will be a late lunch. It's about 2:30, but already the sun's going to go down behind the trees. It's going to get cold fast. But that's what I'm here for, to enjoy a little winter weather. Cheers. Oh, that'll warm me up on a cold day. that's about all the firewood I have energy to get. I hope it's enough for tonight. It really doesn't look like that much. I could probably use another log or something, but I'm kind of beat and I'm ready to just get down to camp chores. Alright folks, it's approaching 5 o'clock in the evening now and the sun's going down quickly. Temperature's gone down a little bit. It's down to about 10 degrees now. And I've had my steak on a rock next to the fire thawing out for, I don't know, a couple hours now, and it's finally about ready to go. So pretty soon I'll start cooking my steak. So far it's been a good trip. What have I learned from this trip? First of all, this was my first kind of not really long distance polk carry, and I found out that number one, when you're carrying a polk, always use either snowshoes with traction or some kind of traction device on your feet, because if there's some hard ice underneath the snow on the trail, if the trails around here gets packed down, then you need some grip, because I lost grip in one spot, banged my knee a little bit, and let go of the sled, and what did it do? It went back down the trail the way it came. It finally stopped on a rock about, I don't know, 20 yards down, so it wasn't too bad. Could have been worse. My camera was in there, it could have flipped over, lots of things could have went wrong. So, traction devices, a must. Number two, it's not that easy to carry a polk up the hill. I thought, you know, I can carry more gear, it'll slide easy on the ice. That's not necessarily the case. Uphill is hard. It was a struggle. I had to stop at every flat spot and where the sled wouldn't roll and kind of, well, you know, take a break. So, yeah, that's the next thing I learned. And I don't know if you can see the light on the hillside behind me. I was trying to catch that. But it's beautiful and it's getting prettier. So that's about it for now. I do want to show you something here, though. I'm going to show you my next bushcraft kind of carving project. Now, what on earth could this be? I guess you'll have to tune in to my next episode to find out. But it'll go together something like this or like this. And then I split it down the middle, and it's going to have to be carved out in the middle. Can you guess what it is? We'll find out in a few weeks. Alright folks, before it gets dark, I wanted to show you my new bushcraft knife. Now, if you haven't seen the last video, I bought the knife blank from a Pathfinder knife shop and the scales and put them together, sanded it down. I added some spacers. So let me see if I can give you a really good look here. So it's a Scandi Grind 1095 carbon steel. I left a bit of a patina on it. I kind of like that look. And it's a drop point, as you can see. Oops. Let me get it on camera. I'm not very good at centering it sometimes. And it's a curly maple handle. Hollow pin in the back for a lanyard if you want one. I don't really use them that much. Just a brass pin there. And just look how thick that blade is. I think they said it was a 1/16 of an inch, so it's almost twice the size of like a Mora, like a companion or whatever, a Mora companion. So that's it, and you saw it at work. It was doing the job. I'm pretty happy with it. That's what it looks like that way. I'm thinking about putting some kind of Star Mountain Outdoor logo or something right there, but I'd have to engrave it in. I'll think about it. So that's the knife I'm using. Alright, here's a look at my fire. I managed to melt the ground underneath one of the rocks that I needed moved so that the fire points more towards my shelter there. And I'm slowly moving it. I started it right there where the pot is, and I'm slowly moving it this direction toward these rocks so that it'll have some kind of almost like a reflective rock in back. So that's what's going on here. And the fire was kind of sparking a little bit and landing on my sleeping bag, so I covered it with the wool blanket. The wool is more resistant to flames, such as, embers. It won't melt like the nylon of the sleeping bag. And plus, I'm probably going to use it as an extra insulation because it is cold. I don't know if you can see my breath, but it is extremely chilly. Just take a look. This is a winter wonderland. And it's getting dark. This camera picks up light well. But yeah, it's getting very dark. You can see the Forest Service fence behind me there. That's actually the wilderness boundary. I'm right on the edge of the Pecos Wilderness near my home. Oh, that didn't look good. There we go. That's better. This hat that I'm wearing, I don't really like it. It keeps wanting to come off and uncover my ears, which is not a good thing. Overall, I'm having a good time and I'm starting to relax and get in the groove of things. I was a little worried at how cold it was when I first got here. I mean, geez, it was like 15 degrees for most of the afternoon, which means it's going to get down to 0 at least tonight. And I only have a 0-degree sleeping bag in this fire to keep me warm, and a wool blanket, so hopefully that's enough. But I'm pushing my luck a little bit. But I think things are going well. I'm getting ready to show you my steak next. Okay, folks, this is my steak. This is a New York strip. Just a small one, but it's going to go on the fire here after the potato. This potato's going to take at least an hour to cook, so, and sorry about cutting off my head there, but here we go. So this potato, it's huge. Look at this. It's like half the size of my head. And so let's go ahead and put that on the coals now. There we go, that'll cook up nice. And then I've got some veggies that I'm going to cook up. And I'm going to cook them in a little butter and save some of the butter for the potatoes too. And then seasonings for the steak, I'm going to keep it simple today. I've got some Chimayo red chili and some salt and pepper. So, I'll see you in a few minutes after things start cooking. Where the steak's gonna go. Nice. Beautiful. Let's get the steak on. Alright. It's cooking. Butter. Let's warm up my plate a little bit. The veggies doing. Oh, butter's not melted. Put them on the fire. Up. Steak and potatoes. Very good. Good enough. At least they're not frozen. Let's get to eating. Let me give you a look under better light. Oh yeah, that looks good to me. I do believe it's time to eat. Oh, look at that. Beauty. Beauty. Let me give you a lit up view. Looking good. Okay, first thing is the taste test, I guess, huh? Let's do a little bit of potato. It's just butter, but that's not too bad. I could have put some salt in it too, but I already put it away. Very good. Oh, and I forgot the secret ingredient for the steak. We have a bit of hot sauce. There we go. That should be just enough. Let's try it out. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Let me show you. Show you my steak. Try to get it so the light bounces off of it and you can see. Alright. little bit of the hot sauce that time. Valentina hot sauce. Good. So anyway, the reason I'm out here doing this today is the Show Us Your Steak Challenge. Of course, you've seen it probably about 12 times by now. I'm a little late, but better late than never. Men's mental health. It's actually a subject that's dear to me, even men and women's health. It's my job. I work with people with behavioral health issues who are homeless, and I try to get them government security. If you're not from the United States, it's called Social Security. And I even have to go over their medical diagnosis and their symptoms, and whether it's schizophrenia, bipolar, personality disorders, you name it. I do everything I can to help. Our patients, they're out on the street, they're homeless, and it's important that we do something to help them, because even if they weren't mentally ill when they went out on the streets, being out on the streets can drive people crazy. I mean, the violence, all kinds of things, just lack of security. People's stuff gets stolen when they're on the streets all the time. All their social security cards, their birth certificates, everything. It's a really horrible way to live. I'm doing everything I can to help. I'll cut it off there so it's not too boring. I probably went on long enough. But yeah, Show Us Your Steak Challenge. Bring awareness to men's mental health. Good evening, everybody. It's the end of day one. It's about 10:30 at night. I've already been sleeping for a couple hours, if you really need to know. But I'd forgotten to say good night, so I'm gonna do that now. I just stoked up the fire, just checked the thermometer. It's 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about minus 12 Celsius. So it's a bit nippy out, but I've been nice and warm in my gear, sleeping well, having a good time. Have a good night, everybody. I just wanted to share the view of the fire that I have from my shelter, and I'll see everyone in the morning. Have a good one. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 2. I had a pretty good night for the most part. I slept well, stoked the fire about 3 times. I did get a little cold toward the morning when the fire went out, and I just didn't feel like getting out of the sleeping bag to start it up again. But other than that, it was beautiful. The moon came out, lit up the whole place. Just gorgeous. And I just got a little smoke in the eye. Sorry about that. I got up about 6, started the fire, got it going really good by about 6:30. Put some water on and made some coffee. And now I'm just relaxing, enjoying the morning. I think as soon as the firewood's gone, I'm going to pack up and leave. It's been an enjoyable trip. I enjoyed showing you my steak and talking about men's mental health. And one more point that I forgot to make last night that I wanted to share with you is this is what I do for my own mental health. Nothing clears my mind better than getting out in the outdoors. And it brings me happiness, really. And that's it. I hope you guys find solace in the outdoors as well. I'll see you in a few minutes when I start putting some bacon on for breakfast. I've got some boiled eggs and some oatmeal. I don't know if I'll be able to eat all that, but I'm gonna try. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright folks, something I want to show you really quick. I hope you can see that okay. It got down to 10 degrees last night. And it stayed at 10 for most of the night. Even early in the morning, right before I got up, I checked the right when I got up, I checked the thermometer. It was still at 10. And I got up at 6. It's now 7 o'clock, and it's already gained 10 degrees, and the sun's not even shining here yet. This is actually the warmest it's been since I've been here. So it's gonna be a nice day, it looks like. Look at that smoky bacon, boy. That looks pretty good. Put these on to warm up a little better. The sun is just starting to come out now. Alright, let's try this out. Nice and smoky. Really good. Delicious. been double smoked now. It's been a nice relaxing morning so far. I'm enjoying the day. For the next course, I've got eggs with salt, pepper, and Valentina. They were boiled before I brought them out here. They froze last night, so I had to thaw them off on the fire for quite a while before I could get to this point, but looking forward to the eggs. It's important to burn off the grill after you use it. Keep it clean and make it so the scent goes away so you don't attract animals. I was heading out to set up a distance time-lapse shot of me tearing down camp, and I noticed these fresh tracks in the snow here. I mean, still powdery. And I thought I heard something circling camp last night. You know, I could hear, something in the snow kind of swishing around. And now I know it's like a coyote. Pretty cool. Alright then, this camping trip is almost through. All I have left is to pack up the rest of my gear and put out the fire, so until next time, this is John with Star Mountain Outdoors and Bushcraft, signing off. Have a good one. And if you made it this far in the video, you might as well hit that like button, share it with somebody, and subscribe to my channel. I thank you for watching.